If getting your life together has started to feel lonely, then you're not imagining it. But here's the part that nobody tells you. If you don't understand this phase correctly, you won't just feel alone, you'll quit. And when you quit, you don't just go back to neutral, you go back to the exact life that made you uncomfortable in the first place. Most men think that loneliness means something's wrong, but what it usually means is something's changing. You stop laughing at the same conversations. You stop wasting your Friday nights the same way. You started to think about money different. You started thinking about your health, your kids, the next 5 years from now, and suddenly you feel out of place in rooms that used to feel normal. And today, I'm going to show you why this happens and how to move through it without losing your momentum. Because this phase is either your breaking point or your turning point. Step 1 is separation, not rejection. And the first thing that you need to understand is this. Loneliness during growth, it isn't rejection, it's separation. And separation is necessary. When you change your habits, your schedule changes. When your schedule changes, your conversations change. And when your conversations change, your relationships, they shift. That's not drama, that's math. And in real life, that shows up quietly. You're at work and the guys are complaining, but you're thinking about a side project. You're invited out, but you'd rather hit the gym and go to bed early. You're scrolling less and you're planning more, and nobody announces that shift, it just happens. And here's the mistake that most men make though. They misinterpret that separation as a loss instead of alignment. They think they're drifting away, but what's really happening is they're becoming incompatible with the old version of themselves. And that's uncomfortable because humans, they don't just fear failure, they fear being alone. But this is just the foundation, because if you stop here, you're still going to be stuck. The next shift is where everything starts to change. Real quick, if this video is hitting home for you, then I made something for you. Because a lot of men that are watching these videos, they're not lazy, they're just stuck in a phase that nobody ever explained to them. So I put together a free guide for those of you that are working hard, but still feel stuck. If you want it, it's free. Just click the link down in the description, drop in your email, and I'll send it over to you. The second step is the silence before the results. And the second thing that you need to understand is this. Growth, it creates silence before it creates results. Nobody claps in the beginning. When you start waking up early, silence. When you stop drinking, silence. When you start budgeting, silence. When you're in the gym at 9 p.m. after a long shift, silence. But results take time. And during that time, you feel like you're walking alone, and this is where most men misread the situation. They think maybe I'm overdoing it. Maybe I should just relax. Maybe I'm taking this too seriously. But what's really happening is you're building structure. And structure feels lonely before it feels powerful. And if you're serious about not wasting another year of your life, then hit that subscribe button, because this channel is for the men who are done playing small and ready to build something real. And step 3 is the identity shift. This is where most men quit. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. You're not just changing habits, you're changing who you are. And identity shifts, they break old connections. If your friends know you as the guy that always says yes, and now you say no. If your circle knows you as the spender, but now you're disciplined. If people know you as the laid back one, and now you're intentional, they don't always adjust. Sometimes they'll question you, sometimes they'll joke, and sometimes they create distance. Not because they hate you, but because your growth, it forces them to look at themselves. And not everybody wants that mirror. So here's the practical shift. Stop asking, why do I feel alone? And start asking, what kind of man requires this level of isolation to be built? High discipline seasons, they're rarely loud. They're quiet, focused, they're uncomfortable. Use this phase strategically. Build your body, fix your credit, learn a skill set, strengthen your mind, lead your household better, because loneliness is only dangerous when it turns into self-pity. But when you turn it into construction time, it becomes an advantage. And the final step is reinforcement and identity lock-in. And here's the part that nobody talks about. The people that match your level, they don't show up until you reach it. You don't attract aligned friendships, partnerships, or respect when you're halfway committed. You attract them when you become solid. So if you apply this, you stop interpreting loneliness as a loss and you recognize it as a transition.